So it's time for the new releases for July. Today I am going to be sharing 17 new releases. I know it's a lot, but I'll try and get through them as quickly as I can. I'm going to be reading the synopsis, but like I said, as quickly as I can. But what I hope more than anything is that you will be able to find a book that you can truly enjoy. So let's get into it. My name is Raquel. Welcome and welcome back. Number one, Blood in the Water by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is a YA fantasy. It says, this summer, beware of sharks. Brooklyn girl Kaylani McKinnon feels like she's a fish out of water. She's spending the summer with family friends in their huge house on Martha's Vineyard, and the vibe is definitely snooty. Still, there are some beautiful beaches, lots of ice cream, and a town full of fascinating Black history. Plus, a few kids her age who seem friendly, until the shocking death of a popular teenage boy rocks the community to its core. Was it a drowning, a shark attack, or the unthinkable, a murder? Kaylani is determined to solve the mystery, but her investigation leads her to uncover shocking secrets that could change her own life as she knows it, if she survives. That sounds cute. I mean, it actually sounds exciting. The problem is she's a kid investigating, so what kind of skills do you have? But I'm not going to knock it because Tiffany D. Jackson is definitely a great writer. And yeah, so I've never read any of her YA books, but I definitely have read some of her other books. Number two, Love Spells Trouble by Nia Davenport comes out on July 8th. This is a YA rom-com. And so if you're into that, it says, you should see me uh, you should see me in a crowd meets Black girl magic, literally. In this enchanting rom-com about a reluctant witch caught up in a fake dating scheme. Witches and humans have always had issues. Kaden is well aware of that. Her witch mom was shunned by her high society parents when she fell in love with Caden's human dad. Now the family business is in trouble due to wealthy witches gentrifying her historic Texas neighborhood. So Kaden is appalled when she realized she unknowingly went on a date with Coven It Boy Kai Carter. But when her father's bakery is an influx of new customer, she realizes Kai might just be the solution to her family's problems. Kaden absolutely cannot be with a Coven boy, but that doesn't mean she can't pretend to be. Suddenly, Kaden is thrown into the Coven system she grew up despising, but it turns out embracing the witchy side of herself is actually fun. As she spends more time with Kai, their fake dating starts to feel like real feelings. And even though she's doing this for her family, Kaden knows she's also betraying them. Her parents may have put love before everything else, but is Kaden willing to do the same? Sounds like a cute little story. And then number three, this is Lore of the Tides by Analeigh Sbana. Comes out on July 8th. It too is fantasy. It's part of a two-book series. So the first book is Lore of the Wilds, and then this one is Lore of the Tides. It says, from the author of Lore of the Wilds come the exciting and passionate conclusion. As Lore navigates Fey magic amid looming dangers that threaten to destroy her world, Lore, oh, here we go. Ametuer wakes up to discover she's on a ship in the middle of the ocean. Held prisoner and with no way to escape, she's faced with a dire set of circumstances. A crew that is distrustful of Lore's magic capabilities. Her betrayal by a fae she thought she could trust, a dangerous quest for the Sun book, which is placed in the wrong hands, will make the Aletherian fae even more powerful. Laura must navigate threats on the ship and beyond into the ocean's magical and mysterious depths. In order to find the Sun Book herself and help free the humans, all the while Laura can't help but feel the intense pull of one Fae male who has been helping her all along. But is she willing to risk her human heart to creatures that have burned her in the past and jeopardized her people's future? So if you are into YA, fantasy, little magic, then those are for you. I don't think that there are any more of those. I don't think so. Book number 4 is Don Caselli by Jaquel J. It is book number 2 in the Caselli family series. It comes out on, oh my God, I forgot. So I'm going to get the date for you, but it is the beginning of July. Let me see. When did this come out? July 8th. So it comes out around the same time. I put them in order by the date. So the one before this come out on July 8th. So this one, it should be the 8th or maybe the 9th. Shoot, I don't know. Maybe even the 7th. But it's right around in that time. I'll get it and put it on the screen. Anyways, it says, you've been given everything you can ever want. Penthouse on Park Avenue, access to family, money, and switching foreign cars like underwear. The youngest of the siblings, raised by your older brother after your parents died, and given clear instruction on what is expected of you and your role within the family. Working under Coleon D. Bruster since you were 17, you've become a force to be reckoned with. There was only one rule your brother had, and he was real clear on it. And you broke that one rule. So what they gonna do, whooping? Oh shoot, he's 17. He finna fly free. He'll come back with a broken wing, as they all do. Number 5. This one is called When 40 Blooms. It is by Jacinta Howard. Comes out on July 15th. It is romance. Uh, it says, a rare birthday, a second chance, a woman finally choosing herself. Simone Harris has always known how to hold it down for her son, for her clients, for the sports agency she built from scratch. She keeps things running, keeps herself moving, and keeps her heart tucked safely out of reach. But this birthday feels different. It falls on a leap year, a date that only circles back every so often, a rare kind of day that feels like it arrives exactly when it's meant to, the kind that makes you pause and ask what you've been pushing through just to keep going. In that stillness, something begins to surface alongside it. Fatigue, questions, the quiet ache she has learned to ignore. She's not falling apart. Still, something is shifting. The pressure she is the pressure the pressure she has lived under feels heavier than it once did. And as she begins to listen to what her spirit has been saying, the past reappears, bringing with it a familiar comfort, unfinished conversations, and a quiet invitation to feel again. Sounds like her old thing coming back. At 40. All right, come on, girl. So, what's her name? Simone finna get her groove back. So, number 6, which is Rome. It's called The Ballerina. It is by Gray Huffington. Huffington Gray. I think it's Gray Huffington. Not sure. But it is book number 5 in the Gray List book. It is urban fiction, and it comes out on July 24th. And unfortunately, there is no synopsis. It says synopsis coming soon. So I imagine before it actually comes out, they'll be telling you what it's about. So sorry, maybe I should have left it off. But for those great Huffington fans, I am sure you're happy to hear that, the next book in your series is coming up. Number 7, it is called Summer Echo by Robbi Renee. It comes out on July 29th. It is romance. It says two former camp counselors whose heart remained intertwined reunite to face their unspoken feelings and the secrets that divide them in this soul-stirring second chance romance about finding the courage to claim what fate has always intended. From the best-selling author of Somebody's Husband. I haven't read any Robbi Renee yet. I am looking forward to reading Somebody's Husband, though. One summer bound them, one secret divided them, one reunion could change everything. As teenagers, Summer Night and Echo Ibarra spent one unforgettable summer as camp counselors. Beneath sun-soaked days and starry nights, their bond deepened from easy friendship into something more. An unspoken love neither dared to confess. Life pulled them in different directions, yet their souls remained tethered by time, distance, and their shared secret. Neither has forgotten their connection or that summer that changed everything. When a reunion brings them back together, their lives collide once more, stirring long buried emotions and unanswered questions. Summer and Echo must comfort not only their unvoiced feelings, but also the burden of their shared secret, one that tore apart the friendship and made them question the very meaning of love and trust. Will they find the courage to embrace what's already been between them, or will the truth they've guarded destroy their second chance? I wonder what the secret is. I don't know that I want to read it enough to find out what the secret is, but I'm curious. Number 8. This one is Savvy Summer Sweet Potato Crimes by Sandra Jackson-Opoka. Comes out on July 29th. This is a amateur sleuth. It reminds me of this book. There's another book. It's called The Family Something. I started reading it, but I stopped. That book is a series, but it's a series. It's like a little mystery series about food and Black people, and that's what that reminded me of, which is probably why I put it on here. Anyway, it says a sparkling debut mystery set in the South Side of Chicago, featuring a quick-witted, unforgivable Savvy Summers, proprietor of a soul food cafe. When Savvy Summers first opened Essie's Soul Food Cafe, she never expected her customer favorite sweet potato pie to become the center of a murder investigation. But when Grandy Jaspers, the 75-year-old neighborhood womanizer, drops dead at table 2, she suddenly has more to worry about than just maintaining Essie's reputation for the finest soul food in the Chicagoland area. Even as the police deem Grady's death an accident, Savvy quickly finds herself and her beloved cafe in the middle of an entire city worth of bad press. Desperate to clear her name and keep her business afloat, Savvy and her snooping assistant manager, Penny Lopez, take it upon themselves to find who really killed Grandy. But with the slimy investigator harassing her to sell her name and her business, customers avoiding her sweet potato pie like the plague, and her police sergeant ex-husband suddenly back in the picture, will Savvy be able to clear the cafe's name and solve Grandy's murder before it all falls apart? After all, while Savvy always said her sweet potato pie was to die for, she never meant it literally. Number 9, Bones at the Crossroad. Oh my God. Oh, geez. Yeah, okay. Bones at the Crossword. This is another YA fantasy. It is book number 2 in Blood at the Root. It comes out on July 29th. It says, in the sequel to The Unforgettable People, oh Lord, New York Times best-selling fantasy debut Blood at the Root, a black teenager with magical powers returned to Cayman University only to find new dangers and new secrets. It's homecoming season at Cayman University, and all 17-year-old Malik Barron wants to do is be a regular college student, or as regular as he can get at a magical HBCU for young black conjurers. He's ready to go to parties, hang out with his new friends, choose a major, and talk to girls. Instead, he's reeling from a summer of revelations, heartbreak, and betrayals, and still uncovering truth about his powers and his legacy. The family he only just discovered is already fractured beyond repair, and a new relative who shows up on his doorstep brings even more questions. When there when there's the mother he risked everything to find, who might be the biggest threat to the life he's trying to build, to protect his new community, Malik joins an elite secret society with roots in ancient magic. His journey takes him even deeper into his own heritage and the history of the magical world, while bringing him closer to a classmate whose friendship might mean something more. If Malik is ready to let her in, but how can he use powers he can't even control to defend the world he's not sure will ever fully accept him? As the pressures and dangers build, will he be able to confront the deepening cracks within the magical society and those building within himself? Number 10. It is called August Lane. It is by Regina Black. And this one, I want to say it was romance, but I really can't remember. I thought I wrote it down. Looks like I didn't. Anyway, this says, From the Art of Scandal. Have you guys read The Art of Scandal? I read that book. It was so good. I did enjoy it. Anyway, from The Art of Scandal comes a small town romance about the visibility of black women voices in country music. For readers of the final review of Opal and Nev. Every Thursday night, former country music heartthrob Luke Randall has to sing another love song. God, he hates that song. But performing his long hit as an inter oh, okay. But performing his lone hit at an interstate motel lounge is the only regular money he still has. Following another lackluster performance at the rock bottom of his career, Luke receives the opportunity of a dream, opening for his childhood idol, 90s era black country music star JoJo Lane, who's being inducted into the Country Music's Hall of Fame. But the concert is in Arcadia, Arkansas, a small hometown he swore he'd never see again. Going back means facing a painful past of abuse and neglect. It also means facing JoJo's daughter, August Lane, a woman who wrote the lyrics he's always claimed as his own. Oh, so he a liar, huh? August also hates that song, but she hates Luke Randall even more. When he shows up 10 years too late to apologize for his betrayal, she isn't interested in making amends. Instead, she threatens to expose his lies unless he co-writes a new song with her and performs it at the concert, something she hopes will launch her out of her mother's shadow and into a songwriting career of her own. Desperate to keep his secret, Luke agrees to put on the rogue performance, despite the risk of losing his shot at a new record deal. When Luke guitar reunites with August's soulful alto, neither can deny that the passionate bond they formed as teenagers is still there. As the concert nears, August will have to choose between an overdue public reckoning with the boy who betrayed her or trusting the man he's become to write a different love song. Number 11, Lost at Sea with a Billionaire by Stephanie Nicole Norris. This is romance. It comes out on July 11th. This is part 5 in a series called Billionaire Row. It says pharmaceutical titan Jonathan Black is used to controlling everything in his orbit. After developing a groundbreaking treatment that saved countless lives, he's built an empire on his brilliance and is accustomed to praise as a direct result. What he never counted on was being captivated by the fiery chef he hired for his luxury yacht vacation. Janet Banks accepted the high paying chef position for one reason only: to fund her dream restaurant. She didn't expect the instant spark when she met her demanding, impossibly arrogant, handsome employer. She's determined to keep that attraction at arm's length, but when catastrophe strikes, their boundaries crumble as they fight for survival, and before long, their desires can no longer be ignored. Gone with that bad stuff. I love a good damsel in distress. Number 12, it is called Let Me by Tina Martin. It comes out on July 11th, and it is romance. It says, Autumn Pemberton is a free spirit, thriving in her vibrant life filled with adventure and laughter alongside her best friend Riley. Just when she thinks she has it all, a chance encounter with the alluring, charismatic Judah Westinghouse. I done gave him a whole new name. Judah Westinghouse turns her world upside down. Their connection is electric. Upon their first encounter, she can't stop thinking about him. Number Oh no, I'm sorry. Here we gotta read Judah's part. Judah is completely smitten by Autumn, but is adamant about keeping things platonic. Haunted by a life-changing diagnosis he refuses to share, faced with the heart-wrenching dilemma of uh, choosing between a deepening friendship and a real love, Judah must decide if breaking both of their hearts is worth the risk, or if walking away is best for both of them. Next, I wasn't too keen on this one right here. I had to go back and look at the author because it just sounded a little iffy. But I went back and looked, and the author is African American, and I say that because there was this book about some black homesteaders. So the book was about black homesteaders. It had a black picture on it, and I read the book. After I finished the book, it turns out that the author was not black. Now you're probably thinking, what difference does it make? It makes a difference to me because number one, I feel like I was tricked, and number two, I intentionally support black authors, so I didn't really like that. Anyways, let's get into this. This one is called History Lessons by Zoe Wallbrook. It is a suspense thriller. It says a college history professor must solve her superstar colleague's murder before she becomes the next target in this funny romantic debut mystery, perfect for readers of Janet Yankovic, Kelly Garrett, and Ali Hazelwood. As a new minted junior professor, Daphne Overture spends her days giving lectures on French colonialism, working on her next academic book, and going on atrocious dates, her small world suits her just fine until Sam Taylor dies. The rising star of Harrison University Anthropology Department was never one of Daphne's favorites, despite his popularity. But that doesn't prevent Sam Killer from believing Daphne has something that belongs to Sam, something the killer will stop at nothing to get. Between grading papers and navigating her disastrous love life, Daphne embarks on her own investigation to find out what connects her to Sam's murder. With the help of an alluring former detective turned bookseller, she unravels a deadly cover up on campus. This well crafted, voice driven mystery introduces an unforgettable crime fiction heroine. Okay, book number 15, A Summer for the Books by Michelle Lindo Rice. Um, this one, I think it was called, I don't remember. I thought this was going to be a romance, but it says something else. Um, it says, to heal their friendship, they have to have they'll have to face their past. Jules Stone has it all: the perfect marriage, a best selling author career, her dream home, or so she likes everyone to believe. But between her writer's block and her husband losing his job, her picture perfect life is in shambles, as an inspiration just isn't hitting until she receives a call she never expected from her former best friend needs her help. Oh, her former best friend needs her help. When Shelby Andrews wakes up in the hospital after a biking accident, she can't remember the last 12 years. She knows she owns a bookstore on the beach, but she has no memory of Lacey, her 19-year-old adopted daughter who's away for the summer. There's only one person who can help Shelby through this. That's her best friend, Jewel. With so many secrets and heartbreaks between them, Jewel and Shelby haven't spoken for years. Yet Jewel can't turn away from the friend who doesn't remember their fallout. Besides, the best writing she's ever done was with Shelby. But when they learn that Lacey's really spending her summer searching for her birth parents, their tentative reunion might just unravel along with all of their secrets. And then we have number 16, which I am so looking forward to this book. This is definitely a book I'm going to pick up. It is called Blood Slaves. It is by Markus Raymond. It comes out on July 15th. It kind of gives that historical fiction type vibes. It says for readers of Victor Lavelle, uh, Shanana Reeve Dew, Stephen Graham's Joan, and Colson Whitehead's The Underground Railroad. This indigenous reimagining of the vampire origin story set during the early days of American slavery blends alternate history with supernatural horror. As the last surviving member of an ancient African vampire tribe meets a slave desperate for freedom, and together they lead an army of enslaved people in a cinematically blood-soaked battle for freedom and revenge. That sounds super exciting to me, and I could say, like, maybe 6 months ago, under no circumstances would I had ever read a book like this. But thanks to to Nana Reeve Dew and who else? Latanya McQueen. I am super interested in this. So it says, what if nobody ever freed the slaves because they freed themselves? 150 years before the Civil War. In the Providence of Carolina, 1710, freedom seems unattainable for Willie, for his beloved Gertie, and for their unborn child. They live, suffer, and toil under the brutal master, James Big Jim Barrow, whose grand plantation was built by the blood, sweat, and tears of the enslaved. To flee this hell on earth is be haunted. To flee this hell on earth, so they're missing a word, is to be haunted and killed. Until the strange night, Willie offers a dark hope by Rafizi, Rafazi, I don't know, an enigmatic slave with an irresistible and blood-chilling path to liberation. Hailing from the kingdom of Ghana, Rafizi is the lone survivor of the Ramanga, an African vampire tribe rendered nearly extinct by plague. Rafizi has roamed the world for centuries with an undying desire to replenish the power that once defined his heritage. In Willie, Rafizi has found his first biddable subject to be turned and to help in a hungry revolt. And Willie's desires nothing more than to free his people from malicious bondage, whatever it takes. One by one, as an army of blood slaves thirsting for revenge is gathered, the headstrong Gertie fears that no good come from the vampiric legacy that courses through Rafizi's veins. Willie knows that only evil can fight evil, and when the woman he loves stands between the reemergence of the Ramanga and the justified slaughter of the oppressor, Willie must make an irreversible decision. Only one thing is certain: on the Barrow plantation and beyond, blood will spill. It says part historical drama, part supernatural horror, and part alternate history. Blood Slaves is an indigenous and defiant new creation myth of a vampire, one rooted in both justice and the sometimes violent means necessary to achieve it. So, although I do find this interesting, I, number one, would never in a million years want to be a vampire. Number two, I do not believe in revenge and all of that kind of stuff. I think God takes care of all, whether it's good or bad. So, never any revenge. With that being said, I still think this is an interesting book, but it is a book. Number 16, it is called The Payback by Kashana Cauley. Um, I thought this was urban fiction, but when I looked it up, it didn't say urban fiction. It said something I'd never seen before. And for whatever reason, I didn't write it down. Um, it comes out on July 15th. And it says, when Jada Williams is relentlessly pursued by the debt police, she is left with no choice but to take down her student loan company with the help of two mall co-workers. From the author of the lethally witty New York Times review, The Survivalist. This one sounds so good to me. It says, Jada Williams is good at judging people by their looks. From across the mall, she can tell not only someone's inseam and pant size, but exactly what style they need to transform their life to. Too bad she's no longer using this superpower as a wardrobe designer to Hollywood stars, but for minimum wage plus commission at the Glendale Mall. When Jada is fired yet again, she is forced to outrun the newly instated debt police, who are out for blood. But Jada, like any great anti-hero, is not going to wait for the cops to come kick her around. With the help of two other debt-burdened mall co-workers, she hatches a plan for revenge. Together, the three women plan a heist to erase their student debt forever and get back at the system that promised them everything and then tried to take it all back. This sounds like it is going to be hilarious. It says, a novel of great fun and unforgettable fury. The Payback is a razor sharp and hilarious dissection of race, power, and the daily grind from one of the most original and exciting writers at work today. Okay, so number 17. It is called Corrupted Promises. It is by Sherelle Green. It comes out on July 31st. It is suspense and thriller. And it says, she was never supposed to be my addiction. Her cry for help is music to my ears. She barely knew I existed before she requested my assistance. Now she's desperate and realized too late that the wolves circling her require a maverick to deter them. She requires me. In a world of power and betrayal, blood binds the Maverick family, but love could tear them apart. Okay, so I'm gonna put a list in the description just in case any of the books you guys are interested in. But what I would love for you to do is drop down in the comments and tell me, what book are you anticipating? It doesn't even matter if it's one of these or not. Just, are you anticipating a particular book? That what's it called, Blood Slave? I have been waiting for that for months, so I'm really anticipating that one. And there's a book by Evelyn Latrice that's coming out in August. I am anticipating that one as well. So if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like it and subscribe for more book talk. Until next time, see you soon.